All right, everyone, I should be preemptively live here. However, we're going to wait on YouTube to catch up. Takes a while. Just the way that YouTube works these days. Oh, it's quicker than usual, actually. Give me un momento while I make sure everything's calibrated here. Haven't done a live response sort of video, actually. 600 people watching already, so probably twice what will be watching Biden. That shouldn't come as any surprise. His administration's basically over. Oh, yes. 10% for the big guy. By the way, super chats are open. I can't actually shut them off, and I don't know exactly why YouTube does that, but that's just a thing. Joe Biden's dentures. Mark Milley wears a toe ring. Yeah. Joe Biden has a cock ring. Maybe he's got a Prince Albert up in that shit. This will be extra spicy, by the way. Oh, I can't wait. I've never done a live reaction before. I'm hoping that it goes off without a hitch. Here's the thing. For all of you that are watching now, which is almost 1,000 people, I am watching the Washington Post stream. It is, let me actually grab the link here. I'm putting it in chat, although it is also a link in the description. I'm going to put it in chat as well for people. That's the WAPO link. This is supposedly Biden. He's going live at 3:30, although he said 3:45, so something's lost in translation. He'll probably be fashionably late, so it might be at 4, maybe 4:10, something like that. Trump used to do this too, so that's not even on Biden. That's not his problem. Let's just see here. Lots and lots of super chats already coming in. I will try to read some of them. You can super chat me. You can give me free money because I'm not a communist. I believe that what I do is entertaining. Certainly more entertaining than actually watching Biden, but you can follow along. Washington Post, there is a live. It's live at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Biden addresses nation on Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. We might have more people watching than the fucking WAPO stream. I've got my earbuds in, of course, because I've got to listen to him. I will do it for you. If you do not have the intestinal fortitude to listen to Beijing Biden rant, I will do it for you. I will stand in the gap. I'm like Jesus Christ. I will shield you from Joe Biden's madness. And then I'll react sarcastically to it, and then you can laugh along with me. I have my limeade, cold water plus lime. Scurvy's a terrible thing. Used to be a big problem. Revex, you think they had to unfreeze Joe and pump him full of drugs for this unexpected interruption to his vacation? Yes, Joe Biden attempted to go on vacation. He was unsuccessful in this endeavor. Jen Psaki, she appears to still be out there somewhere. We're already at 5 BLUs, by the way. 5 Biden loser units. Brian Levi, take this near worthless fiat. Oh, it's not worthless. I can buy several Red Bulls with that. Keeping America afloat. Sending a grant and hoping you'll check out America Floats on Odyssey and all alt tech. Thank you very much. Liz is over there making sure that the cats are both inside. Door has to be closed for the night. Yeah. It's all good. It's about an hour early or thereabouts. Just make loud noises. She's chasing the cat around the courtyard. Mackenzie Hisatomi, $4.99, no comment, thank you. Bill Fry, what's the over-under for how long it'll take Biden to blame Trump? Actually, he might not. There were talking points, actually, and let me try to bring them up now. There were talking points earlier that were mentioned as far as the tonight's stream. I'm going to try to find them. It won't be easy. Somebody DM me on Twitter. Somebody DM me that shit. I'm too fed up with Joe Biden and his stupidity to even bother searching for it. But apparently the talking points were mostly about like, we can't stay there forever, which is true. Joe Biden he tried his best. He's basically going to excuse make. He's not even going to mention Trump probably. He may actually go the subsequent 10 to 15 minutes without mentioning Trump. The thing is this, he's also going to, this is another thing, this is confirmed. There are only going to be questions from the media that were pre-approved. So this should give you an idea of how damning the situation really is. Grim Metals, America is about to wake up. Oh, I think we woke up long ago. This is more like we're still slumbering. We're mostly awake, but now someone's roughing us up in bed. Mr. Roman, Taliban member ain't wearing masks. Yeah, no, the Taliban is really good at making sure that females wear masks. They should be applauded for their wokeness. They're making sure that females have a higher survivor rate, right? Joe Biden likes the Taliban. Otherwise, he wouldn't have given in so many weapons. Justin L614, longtime fan. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much. Zalakai, limes are better than lemons. I think they're both wonderful. I disavow anyone who is a lemon or lime supremacist. Citrus fruits are good. They keep your bones from getting bendy. I converted Liz into mainly a lime lover. Now she's basically proverbially British. She's a limey now. Ryan B, $5, no comment. Oh, I see we're getting some shit on the WAPO link. Yeah, I'm just gonna mute that for right now. I don't even know exactly when Biden goes live. Is it now, an hour from now? Who fucking knows? Who fucking cares? HM, hello Sticks, I've been following you since 2014. Love your thoughts and commentary. Tomorrow is my birthday. The greatest birthday gift would be Biden and his administration resigning, but I will take him just owning up to his mistakes. Unfortunately, birthday gift, unlikely to be granted. Based on the talking points that I saw, he's basically going to make excuses for the entirety of this. The real Holtzinator. How long do you think it will be before the money from these gets confiscated? Well, actually, Google gives me my money. They know better than to do otherwise. Inspector Javert, leaked Biden speech excerpt. Afghanistan is just going on to the king, and you will be in the wrong way of the truth about it. You know the thing. It wouldn't be surprising to me if he fumbles through this speech. He's obviously going to be under stress, and under stress, he doesn't perform well. Breaking news, Biden to address nation on Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Everyone make sure to dislike the WAPO link. Again, link in the description to the 3,000 fuckers watching. Make sure to go onto the WAPO link, dislike it. Fuck WAPO. I don't even have a problem with Jeff Bezos or Amazon. He's divested himself anyway, but WAPO's nuts. Let's give him a good old clank. Yeah. What are we expecting from Biden's address? Excuse making. Retardation. Stupidity. The events. The events that happened today. Yeah, killing people. Let me mute this for just a second. I'll get through a couple more super chats, but then I will mainly be responding to the craziness on WAPO and then to Biden when he finally gets on there. Oh, it'll be funny. Trust me. David Gardner, do you think Biden will resign before the midterms? No, I don't think so, unfortunately. Mark Duquesne, hilarious how the Vichy French held out longer than the Afghanis. The actual Nazis had more popular support than American puppets in Afghanistan. Well, they weren't American puppets, they were neo-lib puppets. Ignacio Aravena. Greetings from Chile. Even down here, we are aware of the failure of Beijing Biden. I wish to have some Chilean food, actually, at the moment. I'm hungry. And I made a stir fry for dinner. Like, I've got no excuse. Letting myself go. Aaron Anderson, do you think the main issue with liberals hating on conservatives is because they are looking at what old age conservatives stood for versus what new age conservatives stand for now? Yeah, liberals have it wrong because they still think it's the W era. They think that it's all a bunch of televangelism and stuff. Mark Carpenter, 3:30 ideally or 3:45 if there's a long line at Dairy Queen. Yeah, Joe Biden's got to get his single scoop of ice cream. All right, there's a bunch more super chats, but I can't get to them because I've got to listen to what these morons are saying on WAPO. So I'm just going to live react to them. Keep in mind, link in the description. There is a live stream on WAPO. You should watch it, but you should probably have me in one earbud and Biden in the other so that I can ridicule him. One-liner time, bitch. Oh, it's 15 minutes away? Oh, excellent. What did Joe Biden eat today? What? How many? What kind of ice cream did he have? Goodness. Yes, and this is actually worth pointing out while I'm actually here. Joe Biden explicitly denounced the concept that the Taliban was capable of taking over Afghanistan because he was a moron. And he thought that the Afghan people wouldn't solidify behind the Taliban. This isn't even the result of the Taliban, the Afghan government. This is the responsibility of Joe Biden pushing the date back. And the fact is that the Afghan people sided with the Taliban because they said the government is illegitimate, because the government didn't do anything when Joe Biden did so. It's considered disrespectful. If you know anything about Pashtun culture, it's not the same as living in Virginia or living in California. But that's what these morons don't understand. Bunch of morons. Here we bring in James. He knows what he's talking about. Make sure to downvote the WAPO stream because it's WAPO. It's clank time. Oh, so Biden was literally supposed to be at Camp David today. He was supposed to be taking a day off to go and pretend to be outdoorsy, to go and sit there and roast fucking marshmallows. They called him back early. Apparently that's not a meme. And this is WAPO. Keep in mind, this is Bezos Corporation. They're not amenable to Joe Biden. Showing the picture of Biden looking at the Skype screen. Oh my God. Holy shit. Okay, listen to what you just heard. Just a sec. He waited for Angela Merkel and Macron to make their addresses before he decided to address people. The president of the United States waited for Germany and France to respond before he did. Talk about goddamn focus testing. What a fucknut. Talk about treason. Jesus Christ. Biden's best answer is that Trump wanted to withdraw from the get-go. Again, this is WAPO, link in the description. For those of you who are just joining us, you can watch along. I'm watching the WAPO stream the same as you are. And it's already surreal, and Biden's not even there yet. Remember that Joe Biden decided to push the withdrawal last date to September 11th for symbolic reasons, partially despite the Taliban. We never could have predicted the Taliban would take over its own country, despite all the weapons we left them. This is surreal. This is literally worse than Katrina. I watched it on TV at the time, and you'd see like bodies floating around, and George W. was a no-show and stuff. It was bad. Crushed his presidency. This is so much worse than Katrina. And that was a domestic problem. So that affected, Americans predominantly. This is worse, despite the fact that it's happening on the other side of the globe. Biden's nuts. And he's in over his head. I can't wait to see his address, his non-address to his non-audience, because nobody gives a fucking shit about him anymore. It's funny when a bunch of commies are the ones defending you, that you've fucked up. And I'd share the screen, but I don't know how, quite literally. So you can follow along, though. Link in the description. I'm still learning with regards to streaming. This is the inaugural tour of Styx Hexenhammer live reactions. We got almost 5,500 people watching. Probably more than will watch Biden. Vulpinatide cute times. What should we do about foreign terrorist groups if our stance should be to mind our own business, especially when other countries don't want our help? We should do nothing. Literally mind our own business and fuck them. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of the training of the Afghan forces, did you see the video that was earlier of a bunch of Afghan soldiers trying to jump and clap at the same time and completely failing? I know that's probably people that were fresh off the bus, so to speak, but it's good propaganda footage for America's enemies. Just saying, Biden has handed them literally a cornucopia of fucking bitching to be made. Oh, shit. Big Ugly Clowno, if this happened under a Trump presidency, 2 pictures of people falling off those planes would be all over TV. Screw the press. Yeah, it would. But it's Biden. Black Czar, stop calling it the fall of Saigon. South Vietnam and Saigon took 2 years to fall. Afghanistan and Kabul took an afternoon. This is significantly worse than Vietnam. Absolutely agreed. There is a huge difference. Keep in mind, when we were talking about Vietnam, it took a very long time for things to fall apart. The same is true in many other endeavors that the United States has failed at. This took a few weeks. That's literally all. And to think, Biden 5 weeks ago said, well, man, it's unlikely the Taliban will take over the country, man. Because, we trained those Afghan forces so fucking well. They have total loyalty to Uncle Sam. Now they've got the Zoom call with the boomer lady. There was no choice but to withdraw, from Afghanistan. We totally did. Ignoring the initial withdrawal date was totally sensible. U.S. forces need to leave. Yeah, absolutely they did. They should have left in May. Why are we still there? We got 5,000 troops in and around Kabul right now. That's Biden's fault. It's not Trump's fault. W didn't do that. W is too busy saying it's sad what's happening to the Afghan people. I think it's sad. I wanted more of them to die. I think it's sad because we have to withdraw now. Fucking retard. Bad Marlin, love you, Sticks. Keep up the great work. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till Biden shows his face. The cats are mad right now. They've been mad at each other since we moved here. Huh? It doesn't really matter. They can growl at each other if they want. That was Liz. Now, the cats refuse to live in peace. They're sort of like the Pashtun people and the Taliban. Oh my God, there was lagging confidence in the Afghan military. Well, what did you fucking expect? We went back on the deal because of Joe Biden. And then everyone abandoned everything. What would you say to the kids now that the Taliban has taken over? Well, you can always go live with Joe Biden. He likes kids. A little bit too much. He might rape you the same amount, but he won't press you into slavery. You get your own bedroom and 2 scoops of ice cream. He only gets 1 though because his wife won't let him have a second. She's afraid he'll have another aneurysm. Fuck nut. Even WAPO's contributors saying that there's no solution. How damning can you get? This is very professional, by the way, on WAPO. Link in the description for anyone not aware. Click that link. There's a WAPO live stream in the lead up to Biden's speech. Speech is used in the loose sense, but the entire legacy media has abandoned their wagon circling in less than 48 hours. I can't wait to see the polling on this too. And Biden deserves it. Here's the other thing. Let me rant for a second. I'm muting this shit. Let me rant for a second. I'll get to you, Grizzly, in a second, since you donated the big bucks. It's a lot of Red Bull. Joe Biden's demented, but that doesn't mean he's not responsible for what's going on. Because even in his dementia haze, early stage as it is, he should never have even thrown his hat in the ring. He should have known that he was going to be used as a steward. He should have known that he was going to be used by other people, by globalist bullshitters. And he chose to get in anyway, partially for egotistical reasons, partially, possibly, for legal reasons. He chose to get in. He's put in his president. He has failed completely. We are less than a year into Beijing Biden's asterisk administration, and he's already a failure. Now, W was bad. Obama at times was bad. There were some things that Trump did that I disagreed with. I've been through plenty of presidencies. Clinton had his, downward moments. Beijing Biden, as far as all the presidents that I'm old enough to remember, is easily the worst already, and it's only 7 months into his presidency. How fucking damning can you be? The Grizzly, give me, oh shit. Well, now I gotta scroll way up. I hope that your chat's still there, thank goodness. What do you think of responses to this, like Tim Pool's, where he says that this was likely to happen under Trump as Biden? I think it's purely Biden. Do you think this will affect the Dems at all, or are they too mentally entrenched? It would have happened possibly had Trump been reelected. Honk honk, of course, 70 billion votes or whatever, possibly, but it would have taken longer, and the US would have had deniability, because if we had kept to the withdrawal date, the Taliban would not have raised so many partisan fighters. Most of the people fighting right now aren't Taliban. They're tribal individuals. They don't have loyalty to Osama or anyone like that. They're tribal fighters. They decided to join with the Taliban the second that the Afghan government did not push back against the United States when we reneged on our deal. That is important in most cultures in the world. Most people in the West, they don't understand this. They think that you shake someone's hand, you make a deal, you say, I'll give you $10, you give me this hammer, and then they don't give you the fucking hammer and there's no big deal. That's not the way it works in most of the world. Most of the world still lives day to day. People go out and they plow the fields and shit like that. Deals mean something out there in Afghanistan. Most of these people, they live not even paycheck to paycheck, crop to crop. That's how they live. And Biden doesn't understand this because he's goddamn demented. Got to watch these morons on WAPO. Again, link in the description. You can follow along. I love they're casting as Biden decided to withdraw the troops. No, Trump decided that. Biden pushed it back 6 weeks. Morons. Oh, the Democrats wanted to get out. Yeah, the Republicans didn't want to get out of Afghanistan. Nobody else, only the Democrats had that wisdom. What a goddamn shit show. Biden hasn't even shown his fucking face yet. It's WAPO, so it shouldn't surprise us any. God, I got 300-second delay on chat, and it's still moving too fast for me to read anything. If we had only had more troops on the ground, the Taliban wouldn't have advanced. Beijing Biden left the weapons behind, dude. What are you talking about? He left them in their bases. There was a withdrawal plan for May 1st. We had the logistics. Biden had 4 months. Is that not long enough to airlift a couple of Humvees and Apache helicopters and some 50 cals? Probably the people watching in chat right now, if we had no vehicles at all, we probably could have removed all that shit by hand by now. We can just fucking carry the Humvee. Be more effective, apparently, than Beijing Biden. Trust me, he needs a lot of judging, dude. Yeah, by the way, someone mentioning drones there. There were several drones that the United States left behind that apparently they're worth like $1 million or $2 million a piece. I'm thinking to myself, at what point can U.S. citizens just like take a rain check and fly over there and grab a couple of crates and sell them and come back? Because that'd help a lot of people. You know, people are struggling to make ends meet because of Biden's economy. Can't we just grab a drone? We can crowdfund this. Let's get together like a dozen of us. We'll go over there. We'll grab up a drone, sell it on the black market. Apparently, Biden doesn't care. It's not even illegal at this point. Nobody cares. Keep in mind, link in the description to the WAPO stream that I'm live reacting to, where Biden will eventually be out there incoherently rambling like the withered vegetable he is. You should downvote their stream because it's the Washington Post. It is legacy media. Oh, there's W. Is it sad that I'd rather W be president than Biden? To every millennial, that must sound unpalatable, but I mean, we're seeing something that's so much worse at the moment. We're gonna attack them Talibans. Just think, he's better spoken than Biden is. That's the sad part. We've got almost 9,000 people watching live at the moment, by the way. It's not, again, not a surprise. Joe Biden has failed fucking miserably. Got 4 times the usual native audience here. And all I'm doing is sitting here and ridiculing WAPO. I love it when they talk about degrading the military capabilities. Think about what degrading means. That means you're not trying to destroy them. You're not trying to get rid of the Taliban. Yeah, you're just preventing them from conducting some of their attacks. That's all. Yeah. People talking about Saigon. Stop mentioning Saigon. This is worse. When Saigon fell, it took a very long time. The North Vietnamese and their commie allies of China and so forth, it took them many, many months to do what the Taliban did in a few weeks because Beijing Biden is completely incompetent. He's pathetic. He's weak. Nobody respects him. The Afghan forces felt abandoned. And he left a bunch of goods for the Taliban to use in their fight. That's the big problem. Yeah, I like how they don't mention ISIS in this entire spiel here at the WAPO. ISIS is a non-entity. You think that's because Obama strung him along, let him grow more, and Biden was VP at the time? I think it is. They want to talk about Al-Qaeda. They don't want to talk about ISIS. That's because Trump's the one that helped destroy them. Partially because of standing down, because these people just want to occupy more land. They want more resources. They want that fentanyl from China. They're all addicted to it. Half of these people are probably dope fiends. Retards. They can't stop injecting it. This dude's probably on fentanyl right now. You'd have to be on fentanyl to get on a WAPO live stream under such circumstances. Yeah. To be clear, let me clarify one other thing as a millennial. This is important to me. I was against entering Afghanistan in the first place. I remained against occupying Afghanistan. It is good that we withdrew, but we had a plan to withdraw on the 1st of May that Trump brokered. Biden decided to push it back for his own egotistical purposes. He kept us in 6 weeks longer for no reason. During that 6 weeks, he lifted out not one personnel, not one machine, not one round of goddamn 50 cal or anything like that. This is completely on Joe Biden. When people say, whoa, it's good, he got us out of America's longest war. Don't let him fool you, dude. That's not what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden kept us in longer. He just made sure that the Taliban got all the goods in the process so that they could quickly overrun the country. Because he's a doofus. He's worse than a doofus. He's a vegetable. He doesn't even make his own decisions. You can't even fully blame Joe Biden. Other people make his decisions. He doesn't even choose what he eats in the morning. His wife feeds him bran muffins and then helps him shit. Puts on his socks for him. Tells him to go out in the yard and talk to the plants. This is Tim Pool levels of super chat. Very cool from Joe Biden's dentures. Yeah, we've got almost 10,000 people watching. Again, not a huge surprise. By the way, there are almost 100,000 people watching the WAPO stream. Not going to lie, that's pretty good considering they usually get like 10. Make sure to downvote. Link in the description. Downvote the WAPO stream. We got 1.2 thousand downvotes already. Downvote the propagandists. Clankdom supremacy. Fuck them. Fuck them and fuck Joe Biden. Joe Biden, my hope, and this isn't going to happen, sadly, my fantasy is that Joe Biden comes out and says, well, man, I really fucked up. I think I'm going to resign. Kamala can take over now. Oh, can you imagine? It'd be orgasmic. It'd be so great. I could almost deal with a Kamala Harris bumbling presidency just to see Joe Biden hang his head in shame. They're going to need to, can't even, here's another thing. We should have a poll, but I don't have it up right now. How many shots of adrenochrome and other anti-dementia drugs did Joe Biden have to take tonight in order to make this address? Because he was going on vacation. He was going to Camp David. They called him back. He had to come back from vacation. Oh, can you imagine him kicking and screaming, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to talk to the American people that I'm trying to fuck in the ass. Now they're talking about women's rights. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of them under the Taliban, dude. A lot of them. It's funny because the Taliban's trying to show restraint. It's a facade. They're not, I mean, in the long term, women will be in burqas and stuff like that, but they're showing at least temporary restraint, partially to not antagonize the U.S. to not give Biden a reason to do a troop surge or something. They're wise to do that. By the way, if you think the Taliban are irrational actors, they're not. They're very political in nature. They're all in it for the money. They don't give a shit about the Allah bullshit. The Taliban doesn't care about that. Osama bin Laden, when he was supposedly killed, had like Coca-Cola and porn around him and stuff. Not that I believe that story officially, but it's believable. These people just want money. Sorter retard. Biden to the Taliban. Come on, man. I need to work on my Biden accent. I do a good Bernie Sanders. I can do a good Bernie Sanders accent. That's partially because I'm a Vermonter. Even though he is from Brooklyn. Apparently, I can do a good Brooklyn accent. I'm going to go and blend in with the New Yorkers and be a degenerate like them. I mean, isn't this surreal? Even once Biden was elected, I'll ask people this question. You can tell me in chat. Like, let's say 2 or 3 months ago, did you expect it to be this bad? Because I didn't. I expected it to be like a Jimmy Carter presidency. Like Biden would sort of disappear, he'd mumble through things, it'd be economic problems, be diplomatic crises. But I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the 5 weeks and all of Afghanistan falls, and then he has to be dragged back kicking and screaming. Oh shit, I think he's going to be on there pretty soon. They're preparing the podium, which means he'll be speaking fairly soon. I'm going to use the John. I will be back. Trust me. I will be live ridiculing Joe Biden. Give me like fucking 60 seconds or something like that. BRB. I can't hear you. Yes, I have legs. Believe it or not. Oh, Biden's approaching the podium. Get ready, everyone. Here he is. Link in the description. Oh, come on, man. Evolving events. Constituency, contingency. It was other people's fault, says Joe. He's reverting to Bushisms at this point. He sounds like George W. Yeah, we got Osama a decade ago. Then why didn't you leave? Moron. Did you hear that? Biden just decried the concept of trying to create a democracy in Afghanistan. Boy, what a stinging non-endorsement of Obama. And now he's saying insurgency and terrorism are the same thing. Holy shit. He's talking about Somalia. This is about Afghanistan. A caliphate. Jesus. Oh, Christ. If necessary, we're gonna kill more orphans. It's not even funny, but the way he just speaks. Oh, Jesus. There's a link in the description. You can watch along on the WAPO. Keep in mind, there are people who voted for this dude. A few of them. Here's the blame Trump moment. Do it, Joe. Fuck yourself. There he goes. The Taliban was at its strongest because Trump drew down. Listen to this withered vegetable and keep in mind that there are people that actually pulled the crank, put his name on the paper. Oh, the cold reality. Oh, no. Keep in mind, false dichotomy. Either we had to stay there or we had to withdraw immediately according to my precepts. There were no other options, says Joe Biden, hoping that you'll ignore that there were. Clear-eyed, man. He's like a less cerebral George W. Keep in mind that Joe Biden said it was impossible this would happen just 5 weeks ago. Loser! Fucking moron. Oh, now oh, fuck you. Now he's blaming the Afghan military. No, they were demoralized, you fucking motherfucker. They were demoralized because you goddamn abandoned them, because you pushed the withdrawal date back. Retard. That's why they were demoralized. They stopped fighting because they couldn't believe in you. Idiot. The Afghans wouldn't fight for themselves. You gave them no hope. God, go rape another child, Biden. Go smoke some more crack. How much did you smoke before this fucking retarded brief? Biden now saying they gave the Taliban every tool that they needed to take over the country. He just said the Taliban doesn't have an air force. Then what are all the Apache helicopters and drones that they just seized from U.S. bases? They've got an air force now, motherfucker. All they got to do is put a couple 50 cals on them, and they're just as adept as like 100 other countries in this fucking world. Five more years, 20 more years. Now he's basically saying, well, it was hopeless to begin with. Well, then why did you push it ahead 5 weeks, dude? We could have been out on May 1st. If it's so hopeless, why weren't we out then? But no, it's everyone else's fault but Joe's. It's the Afghans' fault. It's the Afghan government's fault. It's your fault. It's my fault. Everyone else let him down. Have you ever heard such a goddamn spiel from this moron? Or from any other person in politics? No, President Ghani. Yeah, the dude who fled to Uzbekistan. He was talking to the coward back in July. They were talking about how much they shared their love for young boys. Now he's talking about cleaning up corruption in government. This couldn't get more surreal. I tried to tell those Afghanis how to govern their business, but they wouldn't listen to me, says Joe Biden. They wouldn't clean up the corruption. They wouldn't allocate the money. They wouldn't send the weapons. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Left, right, and center, literally everyone in the country thinks he's an embarrassment, and he is an embarrassment. But he wasn't legitimately elected in the first place, so that shouldn't surprise us. Now he's calling it a civil war, what's happening in Afghanistan. How many more lives? Oh, now he's trying to say, oh, how many more headstones in Arlington would there be if we continued? Motherfucker, all you had to do was keep to the initial withdrawal date. Something you'll never name in this goddamn speech / lack of speech that you're making. It's not a civil war. We invaded them back in 2001. No, man, we can't keep repeating these mistakes. Oh, terrible. Christ almighty. This is worse than I expected, by the way. I can't wait till he takes questions from the so-called media. I wish I could give 10 seconds to ask him a question. Hey, Joe, the last time you ate ice cream, was it actually your shit and you forgot it wasn't chocolate? Demented people sometimes do that. Biden's definitely, he's not quite all there. Biden is bringing up his senatorial record, basically, which is essentially an admission of failure, considering the fact that he's in favor of every war that we've been involved in the last 50 years. This is surreal. Link in the description, by the way, to the WAPO link, for those that aren't aware. I like how Biden's bringing up our international influence that he pissed away. Jason Q just gave me almost $200. Thanks, dude. That's a lot of Red Bull. That's a lot of Red Bull. That's how I have the energy to do things like this. Joe Biden is talking about human rights. Please, Taliban, please don't give clitorectomies to the girls. Please don't chop the clitorises off. I need them when the next time I go to Afghanistan, when I fuck 10-year-olds, says Joe Biden. I need to make sure, you know, I'm giving him pleasure. He's a pleaser. No clitorectomies allowed. You're not allowed to sew up the vaginas. Here he goes talking about wanting to airlift thousands or tens of thousands out to be refugees. Just like with Syria. Goddamn failure, just like Obama. We're doing airport diplomacy in Afghanistan. Don't worry, everybody. Your taxpayer dollars are surefire. Our diplomats are at the airport. Where are they in the airport? Are they in the concession stands? They're in the food court. The American diplomats are in the food court. They're handing out green cards there. This is Biden's foreign policy on full display. I'm very, very glad that a bunch of Afghanis will be moving to the United States. It would have been nice if their own country hadn't been ruined, right? This is basically the same as I said in Syria. Now, we bombed your country to the Stone Age. Hey, but you can move into our neighborhoods. There won't be any problems, right? No hard feelings. He's still blaming the Afghan people. So to be clear, Biden in the last 10 minutes has said the Afghans are basically cowards and didn't fight for the country, but they were so hopeful. They had sunshiny faces. They didn't want to abandon Afghanistan. They were hoping for a better future. Talk about goddamn things that are incapable of coexisting. This dude's a walking contradiction. Devastating force. We will defend that airport. Joe Biden will throw rocks at you if you get too close to it. What are you going to do, bitch? If the Taliban opens fire on that airport, we get a few thousand men in there. They've got over 100,000 partisan fighters. What the fuck are you going to do? You're not going to do shit. You're going to cower in the White House. You're going to sit in the basement and eat ice cream. Retard. This is basically a Gerald Ford style defeatist speech. Well, it was inevitable. We were going to lose anyway, so it's the best that we left. Yes, it's great that we're leaving. Why didn't you leave in May? That's all you had to do. Keep in mind, again, link in the description. You can follow along with this moron if you want to. Not that you want to, probably. Keep in mind, all Biden had to do was go along with the initial withdrawal date. That's the only thing he had to do. But he couldn't, because then Trump gets credit for leaving Afghanistan and keeping it stable for some time. Joe Biden won't shrink from his responsibility, but he will. The buck stops with me. Now he's taking credit for ending the war, just as expected. No, it was Trump who ended the war. You pushed it back 5 extra weeks. He's also trying to take credit for killing Osama. That was on Obama's watch. By the way, Benazir Bhutto, who was assassinated under bizarre circumstances, said he died several years prior to kidney failure anyway, so... We never did get to see the picture of the body that you showed to John McCain, now did we? I never saw Osama's mangled corpse. Right? Families broken by Joe Biden molesting their children. He reminds me of Jeffrey Leonards, that Australian pedophile he's probably dead by now. It was a meme like 10 years ago. And he was some crazy Australian dude before their sex offender registry went up. And he would say like the weirdest shit. Like he wrote a book about molesting like little kids and stuff like that. And it just reminds me of Joe Biden, like how off the wall and like completely out of it he is. Look up Jeffrey Leonards, pedophile. See if that doesn't remind you of Biden. Except that he's capable of stringing together a sentence. Biden's not. Oh man, he just fucked up. He just brought up Vietnam in his speech. Now, even if he's doing that to disclaim, the fact that he's acknowledging the similarity, even subconsciously, oh boy, was that a kill shot on himself. Scott Adams is going to have fun tonight. Now he's invoking God. Oh, he's not even taking questions. Okay, well, there he goes. Bye, Joe. Bye. Now, fucking sit in the basement. Go away forever. There we go. I heard that he was going to take at least a little captive media questioning. By the way, when the President of the United States decides to depart without taking any questions at all, even ones from, CNN, MSNBC, some group that wants him to succeed, they clearly like Joe Biden. If they didn't, they wouldn't have acted like they had since January 20th. That's kind of an admission, a little bit of an admission of failure. He doesn't want to talk to anyone. He was busy trying to go on vacation, and they summoned him back early. Jen Psaki is still out of her office as well. Yeah. A very aggressive, forceful speech. No, it wasn't. He's a cuck. Joe Biden is a cuck. His wife fucks other men. Probably little boys. But Joe does that too, so he doesn't have a problem with it. I'm loving this shit. I'm McLovin' it. This is worse than W. To be clear, for all of you out there that are younger than me, which is roughly half of you or something, because I'm 33. If you don't remember what it was like in the wake of 9/11 in the W administration, especially once Iraq was invaded, this is worse. To be clear, Joe Biden unequivocally is worse. I remember all of the Bush stuff that happened. I'm young enough to have a good memory and old enough to have been there. And while things were always messed up under George W., at the very least, there was at least some attempt at order in some cases. We don't even have that. There's no attempt right now to rectify the situation. No attempt at having even basic order. To the point where I can get 10,000 people to watch me just ridiculing Joe Biden while he supposedly speaks. I don't know if you would call it speech. It wasn't in any language I understood. It sounded like Joe Biden jumping around making monkey noises to me. But that's normal. This is what we've gotten used to in the United States. Our standards have fallen so low that we've gotten used to the idea that the President of the United States can storm out after a meeting of this kind. He spends 2 days doing nothing. He finally decides to address the issue of, in the last 20 years, the most significant foreign policy blunder for the United States, the fall of Afghanistan. He blames other people, and then he doesn't even take questions, and he runs off. This is what we've gotten used to in the United States. It's horse shit. Biden is horse shit. Anyone at this point still supporting him is a complete goddamn moron. I can understand there are some partisans. They say, well, he has a D after his name, so he's the good guy. Okay, you're a partisan. You've got your own problems. But anyone who's ideologically they kind of understand politics on some level, if they're still supporting this dude, there's something wrong with them. Something seriously fucking goddamn wrong with them. And if he were a Republican, I'd be saying the same thing. If Trump had done this, if Afghanistan had had this problem, and Trump were still in office, I'd be the first person to ridicule him. This is nuts. And he said, like, you've got pictures of helicopters lifting off from Kabul. It looks exactly like Saigon. And he even brings up Vietnam just to try to dispel that and accidentally implicates himself in the process. Biden is a strategic non-genius. He is the opposite of someone competent. It's really sad because we desperately need competency right now at the executive branch more than ever. I wish Trump were still in office. We wouldn't be having this fucking problem. I guarantee this wouldn't be happening if Trump were still in office. Listen to WAPO for a minute here. Ridicule them too. These are all a bunch of morons too. They're no better than Biden. Link in the description if you want to hear this miserable bitch whine. Oh yes, the great. I wanted to go into this part. When buzz terms like that are used, we wanted to degrade the power of the Taliban. We wanted to degrade the terrorist insurgency. That's because they don't want to defeat it. They're not interested. They don't even think they can. Here's the thing. We should only go into a foreign theater if we think we can completely annihilate the enemy. If your goal is not to destroy them, not to defeat them, not to do away with them, but just to degrade their ability to function, don't go in the first place. Just use a nuke. That's what they were built for, right? Why didn't we just nuke them? Yeah, but then you have human rights violations and the Geneva Convention and stupid shit like that. We should just ignore it all. Less people would die if we just used nukes instead of doing this shit. Nuke your enemies or leave them alone. Less people would have died over the last 20 years as a result of U.S. foreign policy if we had that kind of diplomatic effort. I'm not even joking, dude. I'm not even going to listen to WAPO anymore. Fuck that. I don't even have the patience. Honestly, I'm kind of livid. I'm actually angry because these people should know better. They should be foaming at the mouth criticizing Beijing Biden based on what he just said. Oh, the Afghan people didn't do what I expected them to do. They didn't fight for Uncle Sam, even though we stabbed them in the back. Well, of course they didn't fight for you, dude. You pushed the withdrawal date back. You disrespected them culturally, their Pashtuns and shit. No, I told you that you're a son of a bitch, bastard whore. I told you that I don't trust you. Why is it that you're not fighting on my behalf? I wonder why. This is what Biden actually believes. This is the problem of having people from the legislature in that position. This is the problem of having people who have never had an executive position other than Joe Biden being VP, but he was basically a minstrel show while he was there. That doesn't really count in the position of the presidency. He doesn't understand culture. He doesn't understand leadership. He understands negotiating. But the problem is if you're in the U.S. legislature, Senate, House, whatever, you understand Western-style negotiations. You don't understand Pashtun culture. You don't understand Afghan civics. Why don't they hire a couple of anthropologists or something like that? Why don't they hire me? I do a better job than Joe Biden. I should be the president of the United States. But it's below my pay grade because then I'd be irrelevant. The presidency no longer means anything. Now that Joe Biden has filled that role, it's meaningless. Obviously, all you have to do is be like reasonably palatable to a small proportion of the American population and then have your cronies run the voting machines. We're a long way from Lincoln, that's for sure. Lucas, a bottle of Rogaine. Sticks, I thought you were very against nuking. Yeah, absolutely I am. But if you're going to warmonger after a foreign country, either fucking destroy it, annihilate it off the face of the earth, or leave them alone. What we've done in Afghanistan is this weird middle of the road thing where we played by a bunch of international rules and norms and it didn't accomplish anything. Biden pulls things out. It's great that we've left. I'm not against the withdrawal. Keep this in mind. I'm in support of the withdrawal. I wish we had been out in May. That was the initial date. The Afghanistan government and the Taliban agreed to it. Biden pushed it back because he didn't want Trump to be remembered as the man who ended America's longest war. And that's really why this problem has happened. He glosses it over in his spiel here. The legacy media won't bring it up, but that's really the only reason why this is happening. It's because he angered the tribal powers that be in Afghanistan. The Taliban, half of those people that are waving guns around, they're not Taliban. They're tribal forces. They're nationalists. They're not Taliban members. They joined alongside the Taliban as partisan fighters because the Afghan government lost legitimacy in their eyes because of what Biden did. Anyway, yeah, this was fun. Over 10,000 people at peak watching. Over 10,000 now, actually. I think I'm going to go off because I've actually got to watch a movie with the little lady. We're watching Midsummer, which is something she's tried to get me to watch for months and months now. And of course, at some point, I should probably brush my teeth. I've got better things to do than to think about Joe Biden. There were probably more people were watching this than the official White House stream. I was just watching the WAPO one. The official White House. How many BLUs? Let's see. That would be roughly 30 BLUs. Biden loser units. Biden's own official streams usually get about 300 people watching them. So you can, that's one BLU is 300 people. If your live stream has at least 300 people watching, you're more popular than the so-called president of the United States. Again, I use that term loosely. The last election was perfectly surefire, 80 million votes, record approval and stuff. I can't wait to see Biden's approval polling over the next few days. Yeah, some people saying Midsummer sucked. Other people saying it's probably good. It looks paganistic, so there's that at least. I'm willing to watch any movie at least once. People can DM me on Twitter. Give me some movie recommendations. I like things that are paganistic, a lot of ambience. I don't like a lot of dialogue. I like a lot of nature, especially if there's a lot of gore in it. I really loved The Descent. I thought The Descent was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Brotherhood of the Wolf is my favorite movie. So if you have anything roughly comparable to that, DM me on Twitter if you can. Anyway, fuck Joe Biden. Joe Biden is literally a motherfucker. Well, that's Macron, but you know, you know what I mean. He's more of a child fucker. He's interested. Joe Biden is a pedophile. That's about all. Peace out.